Welcome back, you beautiful people. Kanza here, bringing you episode 16 of Rise of the Holy Nation. Plan for this episode is to get into full wartime production so we can take the fight to the Shek ASAP. We're going to get lights in so we can craft higher quality items and produce things more efficiently. We've got the hemp going, we've got some defences going, we've got the Holy Nation Prayer Day coming in, so we are sending Peter the Hermit over to go check in with them and get the tidy free extra relation with them. We do need to get some steel research done so we can start creating steel bars. This is going to allow us to make higher quality weapons. We're also getting some foul meat storage in so we can make use of the crop lice, and this is the base at the moment. We've got the full watchtowers, production in the middle, mining off to the sides and farming down on the lowlands. And we also have an Orion Krakatoa here. This Orion Krakatoa did kill Greymane, and instead of putting it down, we figured if it's good enough to take down our Bone Dog, why not take it, join our team? So we are going to have some serious DPS and tankiness coming out of this thick boy. We're going to call him Dexter, and he is going to be a bit of a beast. We probably won't take him on our adventures to take out the Shek, because he's going to be more useful at the base. The worry with him is that harpoons and crossbows are super dangerous against animals because they can bleed out, so we just need to keep an eye on that. Hopefully our precision shooting goes up and that we don't accidentally kill off our own defense. We will be sending Peter and Gnu down to Bad Teeth. We're going down Bad Teeth because we want to get to the Adventurers Guild so we can get them to bring a recruits caravan to us, because we are going to need a whole bunch more labour in, because we're going to need miners for coal. We're also going to need steel fabrication getting up so we can start pumping out as much steel bars as we can, because we are going to be burning through them super soon. And I'm also going to need another crafter and a whole bunch of gunners, because what we want is we want this base to be able to be defended without the adventurer squad, so they will have a nice base to work from. Also, with the wartime economy about to kick in, we need as many hands on deck as possible. The reason Peter and Gnu are both going over is in the last couple episodes Bad Teeth has had a whole load of problem with the Shek, and there's already one here right now, and so we are going down to make sure that they will be safe. It looks like they're going to be okay, but I am missing a hive materials trader, which we're going to need to go and check out, and there is a chance that it's been aggroed into Bad Teeth and is causing the Holy Nation some issue, so we want to go in, make sure that's not the case and take them out. But it is looking like the Holy Nation are fighting someone, and I can see a bug person. Alright, we're going to go in, take down the Western Hive, help out our holy brothers, purge the heretics, kill the unclean. You know, all of that grim dark good stuff. It's starting to look like all of the kickings that the Holy Nation took from the Shek are starting to pay off. They are doing surprisingly well for themselves. And we've also got more Shek still running about. Looks like we didn't properly clear the area out, but there was a crazy amount of Shek. The Garus are now getting involved from the Western Hive, which is just going to be free materials, free meat and free leather, so that is always a winner. Once the Holy Nation starts to get the upper hand, then we will be in a pretty sweet situation. The issue is the Hivers are super good at fighting. They're tougher than the Humies, they have more HP than the Humies, and they sometimes have better equipment. Generally, a Hive soldier drone will have better equipment than a standard Holy Nation Sentinel. But this is what I mean about the Garus. That thing is just packed full of building materials and iron plates, which are all going to be super useful. So what we're going to do is we'll take it, bring it with us, and then when we're at the base we can just go and process through it. We have got the upper hand against the Hives. There aren't as many of them. The Hives are a funny bunch. If you fight a whole group of them, they are absolutely devastating, because they got quick attack speed, good damage, decent blunt, and a whole bunch of bleed. But once you start getting them by themselves, you realise they're still noodle boys and they go down pretty quickly. Their legs aren't particularly well armoured with their ragged skirts, and obviously they don't wear anything on their heads, so a couple good headshots and they will go down. The Holy Nation, you know, the Holy Nation does what the Holy Nation does. What is quite useful with the Holy Nation now is they are just stripping the equipment of who gets knocked down, and the Shek seem to want to get back involved. Might have underestimated the Hivers' numbers a little bit. We pushed further into the town because we thought the top of the town was secure, and then a whole load of Hivers just showed up out of nowhere. Not a crazy amount, but enough to cause some damage to the Holy Nation if we were not here to help them. But like I said, the Holy Nation is getting better. Thankfully, the more fights they get in, the better their stats become and the better their skills are. So therefore, better at fighting. Nice and easy in that way. And also, where we don't have limb dismemberment on, the Holy Nation aren't losing limbs. So they're all getting better, they're all getting faster, they're all getting stronger, they're all getting tougher. and soon we won't need to worry about Bad Teeth being able to hold its own, because they will be able to do it themselves, which would be a super sweet situation. However, getting involved, beating up some hives, you know, we are the Holy Nation after all, seems like a good thing to do. And Peter is a sucker for loot, so any chance that he gets, he is right on the front line trying to get as much as he can. But yeah, the Holy Nation has moved into the bottom of the town, so it seems to be secure. We took and secured the gates, we've secured outside of the town, and now we're just pushing in, so whatever's left are the last remnants of the hive. But like I said earlier, what is good is the Holy Nation will go around and strip them of their weapons and then imprison them. So if they do get back up and they do try to fight back, we don't need to worry about that. And back at base, we just got a slight issue with some crop lice, but haven't geared the guys up. They seem to be dealing with them far better than they were before. Obviously, your farmers take a bit of a beating. Once they take a bit of a beating, their farming skill goes down, which means you don't get so much crop yield. Silver lining to that, the lower their farming skill, the quicker it trains. So once they are all stable, all good, all armoured and able to fight, their farming skill will be far higher because of this than what it would have been if we just killed off the crop lice beforehand. With only stragglers of the hive left and the Holy Nation in a happy state that they're already healing up their own, what we need to do is we need to find the Adventurers Guild, who should be in here, and there is the little cheeky chappy right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we want recruits, we're going to say that we want humans, and that we want them sent to the base. This is going to bring a caravan of about 10 recruits. They cost 5,000 cats a piece to hire. So if you want to name a new recruit, all you need to do is just comment down in the comment section below. Next chance we get, and we get some more recruits, I will name them for what you'd like them to be named for. And there we were, Peter thinking that he had wiped out all the shinobi thieves, but it turns out they are still around, and it is a goat man. A goat man has no place to be in the Holy Nation. They are Narkos, they're impure, and they are corrupting influence, so every chance we get, we gotta take them out. The Shack somehow still seem to be around and kicking. I take it it's because they're the 100 Guardians, and they are pretty tough, and the weaker ones must have just bled out, because obviously the tougher you are, the less bleed damage you take over time, so more chance of getting back up once you regain consciousness. But it looks like the city is now pretty much secure, which means we have plenty of time to go around and loot all of the corpses that we can find. And as you can see, Peter has a whole load of stuff to sell. As we now have a backpack, we might as well go and process through that gyro, saves us having to do it at the base. And we're also going to have a chance to sell all of the stuff off that we don't want, so we're going to make a tidy amount of money on this. Seeing as we have the time and the money, we might as well find some more recruits. So we have a chain here. Well, we're going to call him Chain, and his job is just going to be taking steel bars and turning them into chainmail sheets, because we are going to start producing the EX martial arts suit, and this is going to be a part of the uniform or the armor set we are going to be using for our colonists. Thinking Holy Nation chestplate, EX martial arts suit, under armor, raider helmet, and then I am not sure what I want for the legs. So if you have any ideas or recommendations for a good set of leg armor within the age of blood and sand, please let me know. And then for the shoes, we are looking at the cloth sandals or the cloth shoes, because they should give us about an extra 0.5 attack speed and 0.1 athletics. So you mix that with the EX martial arts suit and you're going to have 0.15 extra attack speed, which doesn't sound like too much, but it is kind of a big deal and is going to turn you guys into some killing machines once you mix that with a decent bit of dexterity. We will need a coal mine and coal storage set up so that we can start mining this for once we get the steel processor. And the oxygen thieves have now decided to show up at the base. We aren't particularly well armed. Our arms haven't increased since the last couple episodes, but we do have better armor, which means our guys are going to be able to stay in the fight longer, stay up longer, which means we're going to increase their melee attack and melee defense, which obviously is going to make them better fighters. So that is going to be pretty ideal. But last time these guys came around, we did not have an Orion Crocodile, and we have Dexter going in now, who is going to cause a crazy amount of damage. The Orion Crocodile is super thick, super dangerous, causes crazy high damage and has a super fast attack speed. The only issue we're going to have is we are not going to be able to train up his strength very well. The way I can think of training up his strength is we get him a backpack and we load it with the heaviest items we can find, and hopefully that will increase his stats up, because I reckon we can get the Orion Crocodile kicking out over 400 damage a hit, which would make him insanely dangerous. And seeing as the best way to take down animals is generally with bleed damage, against the Shack, who use blunt damage, he is going to be an absolute powerhouse. So we'll leave him at the base so we can still go out on our adventures to take down the shacks. With Chain being a smith, he gets priority on armor, so we are going to try to give him the best armor that we can. At the moment, that's a Holy Nation chestplate and a Raider helmet, both specialists, which are going to be quite nice. Not the best armors in the game, but they are going to do for now. The reason we are prioritizing equipping up the smiths at the first chance we get is because if a smith takes damage, they take a big hit to their smithing skill, and smithing skills can cause you problems if they go down, because you could waste a day in game time producing a weapon that ends up being rubbish. So look after your smiths and they will produce better equipment, whereas the other guys, if they get beaten up or they get hurt, it really doesn't affect them too much. And also the other side is that it actually makes their skills go up quicker, so it can be beneficial. So smiths take priority and we want to keep them safe. As we now have enough hemp, we are going to need to look into getting a 5th watchtower. This 5th watchtower is going to be for medical and miscellaneous crafting. So this is going to be where we have obviously the medical bench, so not our infirmary because that would be the barracks, but where we can make plenty of medicines that we're going to need to keep our guys in the fight against the shack. And then on the second floor, I think we might chuck something like a electrical workbench, which is going to be a little bit touch and go, because obviously we are playing as a Holy Nation, but there are a few points of Holy Nation tech, or things that are classed as Holy Nation tech, that will need electrical components, and there isn't enough supply in the towns for what we are going to need them for. Now this is good, we have the Adventurers Guild showing up and they have a whole bunch of recruits for us, so I think that we are going to need at least 4 labourers. That is 3 to go onto the coal mine and 1 to go onto steel processor, and then we're also going to need a extra recruit for the medical station that we're about to put in. First recruit is Harvey, he is going into the coal mine. Second recruit is Jack, he is going into the coal mine as well. Third is James and he will be joining. And lastly is Steel, who will be going on to the steel processor, which we are now putting down, and we should be in a pretty sweet situation. And the final recruit is going to be Florence, who is going to be our medical specialist. The 5th tower is built and we just got to put the medical facilities in right now. I swear the Orion Crocodilers have a mind of their own. So Dexter has just run off and he's just found his way into Bad Teeth just to go and try to kill everything, which I don't mind. It's actually kind of a good Doge move to do, and that is just what Nippy used to do in the old Hiver playthrough. So we get attacked, say, by the Holy Nation, and then the Holy Nation would try to retreat, and Nippy would just chase all of them down and make sure they're all dead. And say if they managed to get back to a town or an outpost that was theirs, Nippy would go in and just kill all of them. So you look on the map wondering where he was, and then you come back and there'd just be like corpses everywhere, and Nippy just like led down in the middle of all of these like bodies. He was a good Doge. It looks like we do have some dust bandits having decided to go and raid our base again. Obviously heard Dexter's not about, thought they'd find their chance, but clearly not. We have just wiped all of them out. We have looked into getting a corpse furnace, but unfortunately the terrain's too unlevel and it just doesn't work. With that little dust bandit raid just coming in and running straight into our base and causing us a little bit of issue, I think it is time to capitalise on one of the mods, which is the Security Plus mod. All mods are linked in the description below, but what this mod does is it means we can put down these mats and then we can assign people to them so it becomes their job. So we can always have guards stationed at the front of the base, which is going to be super useful because it means anyone that's trying to get up the hill is going to get attacked on sight. And the other side is, say, when the crop lice go up there and the harpoons hit them and then they aggro, we already have our guards there to take them out. And just like that, we have 4 guards based at the gate, which means anyone that's going to try to break into the base is going to have a super bad time, or it will buy us enough time to bring down reinforcements so we can hold the gate. Once again, the oxygen thieves have returned to our base, so we're going to see how this little guard setup works. At the moment it seems to be only Gnu down at the bottom gate, but then Gnu is pretty capable of holding the gate by herself. And we also have Dexter come in, and Dexter, you know, he's just going to go in and ruin people's days. So that is just with 2 guys we are holding pretty well, but once we get the 4 of them, and we're going to need to move a few jobs around because they are running 2 jobs at the same time. So we get more recruits. The more recruits we have, the more specialised we can make people. So we will always have 4 dedicated guards. We're also going to need to look into creating a guard squad, because that guard squad is going to be super important, especially when we are going out and we are fighting the other nations. With the colony growing, we have had to expand the size of our farms, and with that we have needed more water, so we're going to put in a extra well. Most of the wheat straw farms are now large and some of them are working towards extra large. The hemp farms are still only large hemp farms, but soon we'll be working towards being extra large. This will now give us enough wheat straw to properly get onto producing our own food, because we have until this point pretty much just been surviving off what we can loot and what we can forage off animals. But the colony is getting too big, we are running low on food, so it is time to step up the gear and start producing more of our own foods. With the food situation being worse than we thought, we are putting in a diverse food storage. Simple reason for this is that we have a whole lot of mixed matches of food that won't go into the food containers. We have been looting traders since about the start of the game, so we have all types of ration packs and food cubes and other strange food items, which most of these are going to be able to fit into the diverse food crate, which means that we will be able to keep our colony around and going, hopefully until we can properly get the wheat straw and bread production underway. Just noticed actually how jacked Pete is getting, so I figured what we'd do is we'd go in, have a little look over his kit and see what happens if we take it off. So as you can see, the EX martial arts suit sits underneath and just makes people look shredded, but you take that off and he is a pretty thick boy. No wonder the Shek respect him. Well, they don't, but they're going to, because we're going to go kill Setter. With the wheat farms all upgraded, it is time to start our milling process. So with this, we are going to be able to get wheat straw flour. With the wheat straw flour, we mix it with a little bit of water, we go to the bread oven, and then we can make bread. And then with bread, we can add other stuff to it to make bigger and better items. Not too sure on the armor uniform, and I think a lot of it is just coming down to the Holy Nation plate. So I'm thinking, and I've had a look, that there is a mod called Make the Holy Nation Great Again, where they end up getting a whole load of new armor sets. And I'm thinking about adding that in the next episode or two. So let me know what you guys think, if we should go for it or we should keep it how it is. Gonna try changing over from the Holy chest plate to the Medical chest plate, so it's going to be black instead of white, and we'll just see how that plays out. And it is now time to send Peter back to Bad Teeth to go to the Adventurers Guild again and try to get some more recruits, because at the moment we have an army to form and we're going to need loads of defenders, we're going to need loads of turret gunners, and there is a whole bunch of labouring that we need to do. We have put in a clothing bench so we can start producing nomadic capes, because I have seen the mod for the retexturing of them and it looks absolutely amazing, so I want to go and check that out. Swear we can't leave this town alone for more than 5 minutes without being attacked by something. So we have the Guild of Surgeons going in. These guys are okay, they're not super tough, they're not super tanky, their equipment's okay, but the Holy Nation has now better stats than them, so they were going to be able to tidy up, but it just seems every time we leave we come back and there is another problem in Bad Teeth. But we will help ourselves to their gear, because it is going to sell for a pretty penny. With some pretty good luck, we have found another United City rebel and a second one as well. So these guys start with decent enough stats. They start with a very good katana and they come at no cost at all, other than -10 relation to the United Cities, which to us isn't a big deal, seeing as we want to kill them anyway. So now we have 2 more capable characters that we can either add to the Adventurer squad or to the Defense squad. So we're looking pretty sweet. Now all we've got to do is find the Adventurers Guild trader and we are going to be done in Bad Teeth. Found you, and with that all we need to do is just get the Humies sent to our base and we are pretty sweet. So thank you very much for watching episode 16 of Rise of the Holy Nation. All your likes, comments, sub support have been amazing. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you on the next one.